Electric cars are taking over the whole world, but the world's biggest car company has been late to the party. Toyota's first real effort, the BZ4X, was not all that great. It didn't have enough range, it was slow to charge, and that name, BZ4X, come on Toyota, you could have done better. But still, Toyota managed to sell about 18,000 units of that car in the US last year. And that's because people have known and trusted the brand for years. So now, Toyota has finally listened to our complaints and given the BZ4X a thorough upgrade. This one right here, it's just the BZ and it's about better in every single area. It gets more range, better charging speeds, the Tesla developed NACS charging port right from the factory. We're here in Texas today. Let's talk about the new BZ. As you can see, the styling on the 2026 BZ is not all that different from the BZ4X. The silhouette is the same and so is the rear section. So this one gets this sloping roofline, it gets this ducktail spoiler, but it's not all that different. Although there are some changes in the front, so let's talk about that. The BZ4X always looked futuristic and polarizing, but on the 2026 BZ, Toyota has given it some subtle upgrades in the front. So this one gets the split LED DRL and headlamp design, which were united on the older model. And in the front, you have this hammerhead front end, which looks a lot cleaner than before. It also does not get black body panels on the side like the older model. It now gets body colored panels everywhere. Charging was not the biggest trend of the BZ4X, but on the new BZ, Toyota has made things different. This one right here gets the Tesla developed NACS charging port right from the factory. What that means is you will be able to charge at tens of thousands of Tesla superchargers across the country. It also gets plug-in charge, which means charging itself should be a lot easier. There are huge upgrades to the powertrain of the 2026 BZ. It's still the same eTNGA platform, but now you have two battery options. So the front-wheel drive XLE Plus will have 314 miles of range thanks to 74.7 kilowatt-hour battery. Max range on the all-wheel drive trims is about 288 miles. There's also an entry-level version with a smaller battery, which is about 57.7 kilowatt-hours, and that gets 236 miles of range. In terms of performance, things have improved significantly. The new BZ now gets 338 horsepower on the top trim, and that's thanks to silicon carbide semiconductors on the electric motors on both axles. Toyota says those help with power and maximum speed. This one will do about 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds. And it also gets battery preconditioning, which should improve charging efficiency, especially in colder climates, as the system now will bring the battery to an optimal temperature before the charging session begins. The interior of the 2026 BZ is massively upgraded from the older vehicle. So the older vehicle, it gave industrial vibes, it gave very New York City taxi vibes, but this one is a lot more premium, and it starts with the materials. So the dashboard now has soft touch materials, and the dashboard layout itself is now in two layers. So you have the air vents in between and then a top and a bottom layer. The center console is completely redesigned. You have wireless charging pads, two cup holders here, a nice armrest with a large storage space in here. And these seats themselves are very comfortable, nice cushioning, nice bolstering. The view outside is great too, but the steering wheel still obstructs the view of the gauge cluster. Not a big fan of that. And then you have this massive 14-inch touchscreen, which is bigger than before. You get everything, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and you also have a JBL sound system. So a very premium cabin and a big upgrade from before. If you want an off-road edition of the BZ, Toyota is also offering this. This is the BZ Woodland, which is mechanically similar to the Subaru Trailseeker that we saw and absolutely loved at the New York Auto Show. So this one gets all-wheel drive. It has about 260 miles of range. It gets a bunch of off-road features. It's slightly higher off the ground, about 1 inch. And it's also longer, if you've noticed. It's a wagon. It gets 6 inches of extra room on the rear overhang, which means all your camping gear, your adventure gear, your surfboards, all that will fit perfectly well inside this car. I'm behind the wheel of the 2026 Toyota BZ. This trim is different from the one you saw on the walk around. This is the limited front wheel drive with 299 miles of maximum range. But the indicated range I'm seeing right now, it's fully charged, we're at 100%, is about 267 miles. So the range, real world range, is a little bit lower. But immediately the first impressions of the 2026 BZ are, it definitely feels more refined. The steering is not all that chatty. I'm basically getting no feedback from it, but I don't mind it. It's not too light, it's not too heavy, it's just well balanced. And this one has about 221 horsepower, so a single electric motor on the front axle. You don't get that brutal EV acceleration on this one. The power buildup is more gradual, but it's adequate. It's definitely adequate. It'll be enough for overtakes, your regular highway driving. It just won't blow your mind. So let's do a quick acceleration check on the 2026 BZ. Okay, so it's not that exciting, but I think it's adequate. 221 horsepower on this front-wheel drive version. The all-wheel drive versions should be a lot peppier because those get 338 horsepower, so more than 100 extra horsepower. But this one's not that bad either. I got to drive the all-wheel drive BZ later, and it might just be among the most fun to drive Toyotas without a GR badge on it. The front-wheel drive model takes a relaxed 8 seconds to hit 60 miles per hour from a standstill, but the all-wheel drive with 338 horsepower is a whole different animal. It's fast, grippy, and way more exciting from behind the wheel. If you're into speed and better traction, this is the one to get. Let's talk about the ride quality on the 2026 BZ. The ride is definitely a little bit soft. It's floaty. It's not that confidence inspiring. I drove the Acura ZDX a while ago. That was way better. It felt like the damping was absorbing the bumps a lot better. But this one, on most days, on most roads, should be okay. It's just that when you have sharper bumps on the road, it does unsettle the car a little bit. But on the plus side, these seats are extremely cushy, so they also do a good job of absorbing those bumps. On the handling front, again, not that impressive, but I don't expect most BZ4X owners to be canyon carvers, and they're not gonna rip around a mountain all the time. So this one is not a great handler either. It's very like, it does feel a little bit. It has body roll for sure, and it's not happy going fast around bends. So the 2026 BZ will be the happiest when you drive it in a calm and composed manner. In terms of NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness, I think the BZ4X is pretty good. We haven't been doing crazy Texas highway speeds. We are not driving at 70 mph or 80 mph. I've been driving at around 40 and 50 and feels pretty good. I can't hear much wind noise, although I can hear a lot of like tire noise and the bumps filtering through the cabin. So again, not a deal breaker, but I wish that this was a bit more sophisticated in terms of its ride and handling and NVH levels. But I think most owners are going to be very happy with what this cabin offers. The seats are super comfortable. The ride in general is very relaxed, especially on this front wheel drive model. And if you want something more fun, I think you should definitely go ahead with the all wheel drive version, 338 horsepower. That's going to be a hoot in straight line. Okay, so there are a few things that are definitely worth mentioning on the 2026 Toyota BZ. This model is fully loaded. This is the limited front-wheel drive top trim, and it has a bunch of goodies. So this gets the 9-speaker JBL audio system with an amplifier in the boot. It also gets this beautiful panoramic sunroof. And in addition to that, there are some high-tech digital features too. So this one has a digital rear view mirror, which you can obviously switch to a regular mirror with the press of a button. But there are some neat touches, and it feels like Toyota is finally catching up to offer their customers really high-tech, high-quality EVs. One thing I dislike about the 2026 BZ is the steering. Now, I'm taking a U-turn at this intersection, and just see how much I have to turn the steering wheel. I mean, this is not precise at all, and I wish it could have a better steering rack and a better, sharper steering ratio. Overall, I think the 2026 BZ is a really good car to drive. The best way to drive it is in a calm and relaxed manner. If you push it too much, it won't be that happy. but this cabin is comfy, the ride quality is okay, and I think Toyota has worked on the efficiency, which is a big plus point. The 2026 BZ is now a real contender in the hot electric crossover space, and I think this could even be a rival to the Tesla Model Y or the Chevy Equinox EV. And don't forget, Toyota already has millions of customers who drive hybrids and plug-in hybrids, and for them, this could be the next natural step if they want to go electric. Deliveries of the BZ will start sometime in the second half of this year, and pricing will be announced closer to that date. Thanks for watching. I'm Suvrat Kothari. Don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments below and like and share this video.